Folks, Bobo here. Welcome back to Threes In. So, yesterday, within the last couple of days, I received a comment from a viewer asking me if I could tell a boomer story from boomers on KC-135s. Well, I'd love to, but first of all, I never flew the KC-135, and the second part of that, I never refueled off of them either. Um, so I didn't have any experience in that vein. I appreciate the comment slash question though. However, that being said, I did fly HC-130 rescue um, C-130s, and with those we would refuel helicopters. Now the refueling was done from the cockpit between the pilot, co-pilot, and the flight engineer. The flight engineer would run the fuel panel up there that would transfer fuel. We had two refueling pods outboard of the engines, and they had the plumbing, the hoses, and the plumbing for aerial refueling. We would put out the hoses, and they would extend to about 105 feet, if memory serves. And then when a helicopter came in and hit the drogue, he would push that hose up to 76 feet, and at 76 feet, the fuel would start to flow. If they came in a little bit too close to 56 feet, then there was an automatic shut off, and that would shut the fuel off. So he had a range there about 20 feet. We would typically refuel helicopters at 115 knots, again, if memory serves. My God, that was in 1974 that I was refueling those things. But I think it was 115 knots on an HH-53, and for an HH-3, we would have to drop down to 105 knots. And if it was on the right side, we would have to drop down to 95 knots. Now that got to be a little bit challenging. You had to really pay attention at 95 knots with this HH-3 on your right side. And the reason we had to slow up that much was because of the rotor wash on the main rotor of the helo, and then of course our prop wash in 3 and 4. If we carried much more power on 3 and 4, the HH-3 just couldn't get in. So that was not quite an emergency procedure, but we treated it like one. At any rate, I enjoyed those missions, refilling helicopters. And while I was over there, I never had an operational calling to refuel a helicopter, but we certainly did a lot of practice refuelings with them. We had to keep current with it, so once a month or whatever it was, we'd go out and tie up with a helos out of NKP and find a place there in Thailand and refuel. I got to where I could tell the beat of the rotor on our tail surface. I could hear it through my headset. And I got to where I knew what that beat was, and I knew when I was not comfortable with it. And one day I heard it, and I just held my breath and held my breath. Finally, I hit the mic button. I said, "Hey, Jolly." He said, "Yeah, King, we're a little too close. We're backing up now." I said, "Good on you." So they'd back up a little bit, and all was good. At any rate, I regret I don't have a boomer story for you. I'm sure there are plenty of them out there. I just don't have any in that vein. And my experience refueling helicopters was for the most, well, it was all in training, either as a student learning how to refuel myself, or an aircraft commander then flying refueling missions for currency. So that ties that knot in that story, and hope you enjoyed it. Good to see everybody, and we'll see you again soon. This is Bobo Basic Gear. Stop.